Welcome to the world's first straight talk Solarcast. This is your go-to podcast for answers about solar. Brought to you by Solar Harmonics in Northern California, who invite their customers to own their energy by purchasing a solar panel system for their home, business, or farm. Each episode, we discuss questions facing people making the decision to go solar. The solutions to your questions are given to you straight by one of the leading experts in the solar industry, Jamie Duran, president of Solar Harmonics. Feel free to search our library for answers to questions that you're facing when considering solar. And now, here's Adam Duran, our host with the questions, and Jamie Duran, our solar expert with Straight Talk Solarcast.
Hello, Jamie. How's everything going?
Oh, going great. It's like a feeding frenzy out there for solar.
Are you the shark or which one is which?
Sometimes I'm the shark, and sometimes I'm the chum.
Yeah, predator or prey.
A chum day. I feel like I've been through the blender, but boy, oh boy, yeah, nothing prepared you for something like this. And you know, we were gone for 3 weeks. Perfect timing, of course. But yeah, went to Alaska and saw all the sun. I mean, it doesn't get dark there till like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then it starts getting light again at 5 in the morning. So it's pretty good for solar at this time of year, anyway.
Yeah, I bet. I hope you had a good time.
It was great. You know, nice thing about a cruise ship that I really like is that there's very limited phones, very limited internet, and the rooms are pitch black. So you don't know if it's 3 in the morning or 11 in the morning. That was just the best sleep ever. So
awesome.
Yeah, thrown back into the solar mosh pit over here. It is getting crazy.
Did you see evidence of climate change up there in Alaska?
Well, I don't really have anything to compare it to because I've never been to Alaska, but the glaciers from what I saw, so we went to a place called Glacier Bay, and the big glacier that they were really excited to show us, it was nice. It was big. It was, 200 feet. It was called Marjorie Glacier, and you can Google it. But according to the people, they said it was huge 20 years ago. I think someone said 1,000 feet tall, and now it's 200 feet tall. So,
wow.
I think that's significant.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, it was really great, but great trip, and happy to be back into the soup. But it's good soup. Yeah.
What do you got on the docket for us today?
Well, and this, I think we've talked a little bit about this before, but it is it's kind of the on the customer side, we normally just love to work with nice people, and it just lately, because like I was saying, it's a feeding frenzy out here. We're starting to get some people who are just not that nice, and
oh no,
a lot more difficult. So that's what I was kind of hoping to talk about today.
About not nice people.
To treat your solar customer, and how to treat, your solar installer, how to treat people, basically. And so we get a wide range of people, and one of the biggest things we get is just ghosting, and I'm sure you're familiar with what that
wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? For those who don't know, what do you mean ghosting? Remember, you have to do your phone will go to sleep, and then we'll stop.
Well, it's a term that the young people use when you just stop responding, or you've put a lot of effort into the relationship, and you've maybe gone on a couple dates, and you think things are going great, and you think you're going to proceed, and everything's going good, and nothing. No more return calls, no more return texts. People just leave you hanging, and you might run into them, and it's really awkward, and the same kind of thing happens in solar, where we will go ahead and get a proposal ready. We'll do a visit. We'll talk with clients. Everything's going great. Financing looks good. And then all of a sudden they stop. They just stop responding. And like, hey, what's going on here?
Are
And
you ghosting me again?
exactly. I almost put together a ghosting email, but you know, it's fine. I think up until the point where, we've done kind of the sales side and it's okay to stop, if you find another person, circumstances change, that kind of thing. But after we do the site inspection, that's where our installer goes up on the roof, measures. I mean, we're putting a significant amount of time now into this project, and it's not unique to solar, and this happens virtually in every single thing that has to do with people coming to people's houses.
Okay.
And the homeowner just stops responding. And it's like, hey, I thought we had a deal going, and we had an instance like this where it was a 55 panel system, so a pretty big system, and the client just ghosted us, and then happened to call him, and he happened to pick up, and he said, yeah, we just went with another company. And I said, well, that seems strange. I thought you said you wanted to go forward with us. And he's like, well, we went with another company. It was just no problem. And so he said, they were way less expensive. And I said, well, it's always different.
There's a reason. Yeah.
It turns out that he's getting a system that's 2/3 the size of what we were proposing. And we told him he's got to cut back trees. And so it's just one of those where in a year from now, he's going to, once his system is up, he's going to have a pretty big true up bill, and he's going to come back or not come back. Most likely he's just going to be upset and say solar doesn't work. And so, but, it's kind of a disappointment.
It's all rip-offs. Yeah.
Exactly. Solar doesn't work. It's a rip-off. And so, those kind of things I'm sure, like I said, it happens almost in every industry, and we had to take it as it comes. But, sometimes people aren't making, they're not selling a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 solar panel system. They might be selling, $300 for their handyman services. And that handyman is one guy, and he's doing all the work and doing all the sales and doing all the everything. And when they get ghosted, it's just brutal for them. So I would like people to kind of put themselves in the shoes of the person they're doing business with, and maybe take a little more accountability. And if it's not going to work out, that's okay. You can call up the company, email them. Sorry, we decided to go a different direction. But most people have applied for a job before, and you put your application, you do your interview.
Yep.
Everything's going great. They say, yep, we have a few more candidates to talk to, but we'll get back to you by next week. And then you never hear from them again. And it's like, wow, so yeah, we feel the same thing in the solar business, and I'm sure that happens in every business. But. So
do you, I think I know the answer to this question, but do you, when that happens, or when you find out, okay, you went with somebody else, that's fine. What's your process then? Do you ever just say, okay, forget it? Or what do you do?
Well, that's certainly the natural instinct is, well, I hope your house burns down, and
no, don't do that. Yeah. Okay.
But well, I mean, the one commodity that we have in life that cannot ever be recovered is time.
Right.
And so we've spent time with this, and with the understanding that we'll invest time, and we'll hope that we will win your project. So anyway, so how we just say, it's rats, we're really sorry that it didn't work out. For our records, or for our future learning, is there something that we could learn from, if you can let us know the reason you chose the other company?
Yeah.
It's all so, and this is probably our biggest failing, is that I present our solar projects as very logical and that we're the most sane choice for going solar. And a lot of times we're losing those projects based on emotion, that the person had a emotional connection with the salesperson or the solar company, and that seems strange and it never makes sense, but all we can do is move on. But we let them know, hey, if it doesn't work out with them,
right,
consider us your plan B, and believe it or not, we've heard from customers who
Yep.
get halfway down the road and then they say, oh my God, I made a terrible mistake. And they come back to our loving arms.
And when that happens, or so definitely I know in our company, we have the same thing. We say, if in the future you want us to take a look, or I guess for you it'd be in this process, if you want, now that you've decided to go with another company, if you want an expert opinion on what they're offering, do you offer that second chance to them?
We don't, just because if the roles were reversed, it wouldn't be great to have to now defend it to our system and have to justify everything that we're doing. I have had friends send me proposals that they've received from other solar companies, and I'm able to evaluate them for them. Mm-hmm. Especially if they're out of town or something in an area we do not service. So,
got it.
And it's been very helpful for those people. But yeah, it would be interesting to do a solar auditing service. So, hey, send us your solar proposal, and your $100 investment could save you $10,000.
Yeah,
going down this, or more. It could be several $100,000.
Step one: call the contractors board. I think we've been through all those. But
yeah.
And then the people, I mean, when they're just searching for the bottom price, I know after listening to this or being part of this podcast, I know that, you can go, hey, I'll get you an inverter that, it's not going to last long, but it's half the price of the inverter that Solar Harmonics is doing. I guess when that happens, you're just like, well, during your process, are you letting people know, we're recommending this inverter because this is the reasons why? And I mean, I guess if they don't listen, it doesn't matter.
It is, we do have a lot of very analytical clients, and they do their research. Most of their research, I'd say 100% of their research now is online. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, many of those online sources are not unbiased. They're very biased. And so they get paid by an inverter company or a panel company to give them very high ratings. Mm-hmm. And so, we see kind of the top 3 panels, the most popular ones, almost on every review site. And it's because they're spending thousands of dollars a month to have their panels be rated higher than a lesser known one. Or inverters too.
That makes sense.
So the analytical people really just like hearing that that it's not legit out there, or at least not unbiased. So and it says right on their sites that they may take fees for their reviews. Which, so it's they're saying it right up front, but a lot of times people ignore that, and they when we have a customer who knows more than we do, it's going to tell us that he wants this specific panel and this specific inverter, that's against what we just fired this customer this week because he just absolutely insisted on going with a system that we did not recommend. Oh, wow. And that's a hard decision to make, but we know down the line, if there's a problem, do you think he'll take accountability for that?
No,
no.
Obviously not.
No, exactly. So anyway, it's an adventure. Like I said, we're in the soup this week, and probably for the rest of the year, because the 30% tax credit is going down to 26% next year. So, and PG&E has in California, they've blanketed the news and all of their customers with, hey, we could shut off your power at any time. So we're getting bombarded with generator requests and solar batteries and all kinds of stuff. But it is it's the solar business. It's always exciting. Something's always going on every single day.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Mm-hmm. So in short, how can you be a good client or a good solar customer?
Or just be a good human. So,
okay. Step one
is, treat people how you would like to be treated.
Golden rule. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, calling them at 6 a.m. and expecting a call back by 6:01, and then, several text messages, emails, voicemails later. That's not a great way to start the day for anybody. And so, nothing's going to change from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. We're not curing cancer, or no one's going to call an ambulance. So those kind of things. Just be considerate, I guess, is the main one, but treat other people how you would like to be treated.
That sounds like a no-brainer, but okay, we can.
I know. But don't you think that in society lately, especially, it just seems that people are just getting more and more focused on themselves and their own needs, rather than, how can they fit into a working society?
It does.
Okay, good. I'm not the only one.
So, but I don't know what to do about it other than do the golden rule.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I try and treat others like I wish I was treated. So,
well, I know you,
actually, but the people who don't, I mean, I don't really. The good thing about being an adult is you don't need to really associate or hang out with the people who you don't like, right? So
no, but you still have to interact with members of society. So it just seems that lately, maybe over the last 2 or 3 years, people are just, you see it on freeways, you see it in, Costco or parking lots, and that's just people are throwing civility to the wind and are just doing what is in their own best interests, and could really care less about their fellow person. And that happens you see it in restaurants, you see it online all the time, and it seems like maybe it started online and now it's spreading to real life.
Well, I have no solution other than to, I can only control my reaction to those people. Mm-hmm. And that's what I try and do.
Jiu-jitsu, right?
Well, I'm doing that for a lot of other reasons, but all right. I'm also just, you can only control your reaction. So that's all I got. And
all right.
I don't know. I feel like maybe we're just getting old, Jamie. Didn't our dad and then their dad say the same thing? How crappy society's going, and etc. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember him complaining about it as much as I do, but
that's true.
That's okay.
What are you gonna do, man?
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go on another vacation. That seems to fix things for a little while, and then it starts back up. But yep, it's very exciting. It's world of solar and everything else.
I tell my daughter that unfortunately she's been cursed with a critical thinking brain. And sorry, it's going to haunt you for the rest of your life. You'll be jealous of people who don't, who are just walk through life obliviously.
Yep.
Sorry. And you're welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all
I agree completely.
Seriously,
all right. So let's end it on something positive. Is that business is great, very exciting, and very thankful and fortunate to be in the solar business.
Yeah, I mean, you're saving the world. That when I asked about climate change, just because it seems like there's really no other way to solve this climate change problem other than starting it at home. So going solar, getting an electric car,
planting trees.
Yeah, planting trees, and just realizing that, if not now, then when? If not who, then I.
Right.
So who's going to do this other than you, me, and hopefully the people who are going to call you up after listening to this podcast? It's got to start somewhere. And why not? Yeah. I mean, how can you be a thinking adult and a thinking parent, and not think about your kids and then their kids' future?
Half the country thinks so, and it seems like be getting bigger too. That they're just thinking about right now and me.
Glass is half full, Jamie, not half empty.
I know. So catch me in another week or so, and I'm sure I'll be in a much better mood. But yeah, getting beat up these days with solar. That's okay. I'm tough.
Sounds like you need to go on a float. Just go.
Oh, I might go on another vacation. I'm thinking about
that. All right. We're going to wrap it up unless you have any other thoughts.
No.
Okay.
Very good.
Thanks a lot for listening this week, and we hope that you enjoyed this podcast. If you did, please feel free to give us a 5-star review on Apple iTunes, and follow us on Facebook. Drop us some. We're getting some crazy and interesting questions coming up through Facebook, so keep them coming. And that's all for now.
All right. Have a great week.
That's all for now. Thank you for listening to this episode of Straight Talk Solarcast with solar expert Jamie Duran. Join us each week for more answers to your solar questions. Speaking of questions, got some? Email us at solarcast@solarharmonics.com and we'll be sure to give you an answer in an upcoming episode. This episode of Straight Talk Solarcast is brought to you by Solar Harmonics, the leading solar energy developer in Northern California, who invite you to own your energy. Visit them on the web at www.solarharmonics.com.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.